Right, hello, welcome to the Motivations to Work session. So if you were to turn to page 24 and 25 of your books, you'll be able to see a little section in there just about all sorts of different things that might motivate you to work. So we're going to go through 6 of them. I'm basically, if you can look at the 6 on page 24, I just want you to write some notes which kind of characterise what the 6 things are. I'm going to explain those 6 things to you. After that, on page 25, there's a few questions that I'd like you just to have a little look through. If you write those for yourself, obviously I can't really answer those ones for you because a lot of them are quite personal. So if you just kind of put what you can, say what you can, and we'll move on. So I'm going to work through these relatively quickly. Obviously you can pause for thought. This is the advantage of this compared to the actual training. Just taking the information, write some notes, all of that kind of thing. So the first one is achievement. So people who are motivated to come to work because of achievement tend to be people who like challenging tasks, clear goals and specific measures of success. So they really enjoy a project that they can open and then do a little bit of and then close. Something that might frustrate them is the continuous kind of nature of parks work. So obviously the children come, they do what they like, they go home again, they come again, do what they like, they go home again. Like, it's not like they've got a continual kind of, so it's not like you have like specific goals and aims with all of them all the time as a kind of overall level. Even though obviously with preschool you might have EYFS goals, obviously with a lot of the kids that's not how it works. These people really like to be recognised for their achievements and they take a really big boost when they are recognised by managers. They're always looking to achieve targets and goals. So these people might well like set themselves goals such as today I'm going to get my one-to-one to go in every area, or today I'm going to try and get everyone to do the cooking activity or the art activity. Those sorts of things are the things they're thinking about to try and like set themselves little tasks. They might also really get on with the progress level things like how much positive and negative feedback you're getting. They might really enjoy that kind of thing, just as kind of a way of measuring how well they're doing. So these kind of people might find office jobs satisfactory because obviously there's tasks that you do and then you complete and you move on and you can kind of measure your success a bit better, but they also can be very good play workers. Although they could work at setting themselves goals for the children to merit their progress, they may also enjoy the terminal reviews, as we've already said. Second one is interaction. So some people just really love being around people. They enjoy jobs which involve frequent face-to-face contact and they often operate best through discussion. So they value making friendships with their colleagues and getting involved in their personal lives. They like to have friendly relationships with their managers and with their co-workers. Obviously at Park we're trying to create a really friendly kind of atmosphere of investing in one another, being friends with one another. So this is a really kind of good place to be in if you're one of these people. I guess one of the pitfalls and one of the things to watch out for is that often these people can be a little bit distracted by talking to other people and don't always focus on the actual job, such as sticking to their one-to-one. So that's something they sometimes need to watch. Number 3 is creativity. So creative people just want opportunities to come up with fresh ideas and to innovate. They really love to get their brains whirring, and repetition is boring, so doing the same old thing all the time, same old admin jobs, same old stuff with the children, like it gets boring. They want to find new fresh ideas, new activities, new ways of setting the room out, new ways of doing the session, new toys, new games, new everything. Like they enjoy having new things that they can come up with and create. These people might start a lot of projects but sometimes struggle to maintain these ideas into regular patterns. They really appreciate having managers around them and team leaders around them who are supportive and who are going to listen to their ideas, take the ideas on and then implement them and allow them to happen. These guys are incredibly useful and very influential, and if you are a creative person, please do share your creative ideas with those of us who are team leaders and managers. We would really love to hear them. So yeah, these people are incredibly useful. I guess they can be quite demoralised if their ideas don't sound like they're being used or listened to or understood, and it doesn't seem to be much much evidence of them being implemented. So sometimes they need to be treated with a little bit of care. Moving on to the 4th is leadership. So people enjoy leadership, like to be in charge. It's not necessarily a bad thing to want to be in charge. So these people really enjoy decision making, directing, delegating. They will tend to fraternise with their managers and their supervisors, and kind of enjoy kind of talking to the people of influence, so they can understand the roles of influence that these people have. So that's kind of one of the useful things about them. I used to find when I was a play worker, like if something went wrong in a session, I would be sitting there going to myself, cool, how would I change that? How would I move that? How would I do that? How would I change the session around? This is the people that I would give to this child. This is what I would do. This person else. And some people like naturally are thinking in their heads about some of those decisions and goals and all the rest of it that the team leaders do, and saying, well, this is how I do it. This is how I do it. People who enjoy leadership and are motivated by leadership are really like great to have around. They often are very motivated, they're often very highly strung, they often really want to know exactly where they stand, what their exact responsibilities are and all the rest of it. I guess the thing to watch out if you're motivated by leadership is to recognise your place and to understand that sometimes you just have to listen to the people who are above you. So try not to kick off if things go wrong, essentially, or if you think you could have done a better job, or if you think you haven't been listened to properly by a leader. That's usually where people who are into leadership fall down a little bit. Moving onwards to service. So the people who are like motivated by service are the ones who want to make a difference. So these are the ones who, they do what they want to do because their job almost is like an extension of their life. Like their entire being is characterised by the job that they do. They love to make a difference of what they do, and they're completely invested into the personal lives of those that they work for or work with. So these people particularly love to do things like volunteering, working for charities, for causes, for advocacy groups, all of those kind of things, the things that get them ticking. They really love to work with people who share in their values and their beliefs. So at Park, this tends to be a huge motivator for people, and sometimes you'll find that people who start working at Park get so captured by it that this becomes the thing that drives them to continue to work here. So yeah, I think it's important to acknowledge, however, that good intentions alone don't always solve everything, and sometimes things happen for good reasons, even though they might not be our preference of what we would like to happen. So for instance, we have like something like a session suitability policy where certain children sometimes can't come to certain sessions because it wouldn't be very helpful for the other children who are in that session. The thing that those of us who are kind of gifted in terms of service or motivated by service is to remember that our passion doesn't always speak entirely for what the right thing is to do. So even though we feel passionate about some things, we've got to learn how to express those things in a good way and to not get too frustrated or angry about what we see to be an injustice if we think things aren't going quite how they should be going. And the final one is problem solving. So some people just really love a challenge, like they get bored if their work is easy or repetitive. What they really love to do is get involved in stuff, to learn stuff, to try new things, to push themselves, to challenge themselves, and almost to conquer different tasks. So particularly one-to-ones, if there's particularly challenging one-to-ones, some guys will just be like, I really want to have a go at having that one-to-one, and I would love to see if my ideas would work in helping them to behave or helping them to have more fun here and all of those kind of things. So kind of some people are motivated in that way, they need to be stimulated. They enjoy providing advice and help, and they often take pride in being seen as an expert in a particular field. So once they've almost conquered something, they love to be able to share and help others in learning how to do that as well. At Park, these people will want to get stuck into some of the challenges, such as providing more money, the opportunity, expanding the business, dealing with people, funding, fundraising, financing, but they also might want to just be involved in stuff like the getting involved in all the different one-to-ones, learning how to make the centre more engaging, more activities, all of those kind of things. They love the challenge of maybe upping the numbers, all of those kind of things. I think challenges that they like to get stuck into. As much as this is all well and good, such opportunities are not always easily available, and these people, as much as they're useful in solving issues for children and helping with behaviour management and all that kind of thing, they can also sometimes get frustrated. Firstly, if the problem that they're trying to solve is taking time to solve, and secondly, if it becomes clear that the problem is not going to be solved by them. So they sometimes just need a bit of encouragement and coaxing because of that. So if we look at this, I just want you to have a look at the questions in the book. So if you look to page 25, there's 4 questions. Could you just have a little look through them, write a few notes yourself, and then we'll just have a little look ourselves at the answers. So if you pause now, and hopefully, yeah, you just had a little look through the book, you've written a few notes, you've had a few thoughts. So firstly, looking at the drivers that characterise your motivation, which things do you think motivate you most to work? So I'd say, I guess for me, I'm a bit of a people person, so I really love to be around other people. So interaction is something that does drive me quite a lot. I think service as well, like I want to see Park really succeed. And my big vision for Park is probably to see the staff group that are really well supported, who come away from Park having had a really, really great time there and kind of look really favourably at their time here. So kind of there's some of the things that motivate me. If there are other things you think motivate you that you'd like to change, so I guess just thinking about some of the weaknesses, like are you motivated in ways that aren't always helpful? So do you get distracted easily, for instance? How can you do something about that? Well, obviously you just need a bit more discipline in how you deal with your job. Some people might get really frustrated when things don't get right, and they'd like to maybe just learn on that a bit. When I guess one of the advices to give is, if you get frustrated easily, one of the things to do is to learn how to kind of internalise some of your frustration and share it at the right time. So share it with people like me, or with Ryan, or with a manager or a team leader, etc., depending on the situation. And finally, how do we use this information to benefit our jobs at Park? There's a whole load of things you can do here, to be honest. I think probably one of the things that's worth bearing in mind is trying to understand yourself, so you can understand why you love being at Park, but also why sometimes you find it hard to be at Park. So, for instance, if you're someone who really loves interaction, some of the children that you're going to play with obviously don't give off the same kind of vibe of interaction as you might like. So they might not talk to you, they might not be interested in you, they might just want to do their own thing, they might just spend the whole day hitting you. Obviously that's going to be really draining. Or if you're in an area where there's no one to talk to, no one to interact with, and no one to play with, those things are going to be much more draining for you, because you love to interact and you're motivated by interaction. Whilst if you're someone who's creative, you might enjoy it, or problem solve, you might enjoy the situation where you get to be in an area where there's no one else about, because you can innovate and try and make the area more fun, or try and really get involved with the people who aren't there, and try and make the area so fun that people want to be in there and don't want to leave. So for you, that's kind of a challenge, and that's quite fun. The other thing is that I'll find, so often people will come to me and say that they don't want a certain one-to-one anymore, and they would love a certain one-to-one. Often when they say they don't want a certain one-to-one, there's 2 different reasons. The first one tends to be, I can't do anything with this one-to-one. Like, I don't know what to do with them, so I'm stuck. And I guess for that, those people tend to be people who are motivated most by achievement, or perhaps by problem solving. So they can't solve the problem, or they can't achieve anything with this child, so that is really frustrating them, and that means that they're not feeling motivated to work with that child. Now, for the people who are interaction or service based, they might say, I don't want to be with this child because the child doesn't like me. So I just don't think this child gets on with me, and I want them to have a fun time at Park, so I'd rather they had fun with a different person who they seem to like than play with me. And none of those things are wrong, any of the things I've just said, but obviously how you're motivated will depend on what frustrates you and what drains you and all of that sort of thing. I guess the most important thing is that if you can know yourself, so you know what's motivating you and what is annoying you and frustrating you, what are you not getting that you need when you're at work, you can express that better to the team leader. So if you just came to your team leader on a Saturday morning and said, I'm not really enjoying Saturday mornings, I don't know why, I'm not. Your team leader can't do much to help you in that situation. It's probably going to get a bit more frustrated with that. Whereas if you're saying, the thing is that I feel like, I'm really motivated by leadership, and I'd really love to have an opportunity to help as a senior, and I wish I'd have that opportunity, or I wish there was more responsibility I could have. Or if you said, I feel very creative, I don't think, I'd like to see more creative ideas in the main area, these are a few of my ideas, would you be able to try any of them, or would you like me to give you any help with any of those? You might want to say, I just don't feel like I'm being stimulated enough, I feel like I don't get enough challenging one-to-ones, I wish I had a few more challenging jobs. I want to stretch myself, I feel like sometimes I'm too in my comfort zone. So if you're starting to express yourself based on how you know yourself, that's going to be much easier for the team leader to take on board and to understand and then to give you appropriate jobs and to help you to achieve your potential essentially in how you work. So yeah, so that's kind of why we've talked about this. Essentially, I want you to try and know yourselves better and think about it, like why is it that you turn up every day? What is it that makes you want to do this job? You could stack shelves at Tesco for a similar amount of money, and just kind of process through knowing yourself a little bit better. So I hope that's been really helpful, and now we can move on to the next section.